Want something? Yeah, national anthem. But I like it. Hmm? Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, we are now live for the June edition of CIPM You Series. We will rise as we take the Institute of the Nigerian National Anthem. Thank you. We will be seated. Thank you. Mr. President and Chairman of the Governing Council, Malan Ahmed Ladangobir, FCIPM FNLI. The Vice President, Mrs. Chidima Obiejesi, FCIPM. The National Treasurer, Mr. DME Ajayi, FCIPM, Chartered FCIPD. The immediate past President, Mr. Olusegun Mojid, FCIPM FNLI. The elected council members here present, the governing council members, distinguished members of the Institute, our panelists, we have Mr. Nduka Fred Anene, FCIPM, Managing Partner, Attorney Resource Limited. We have Kausara Mudupio Labdo Karib, FCIPM, Regional Head, HR Mantrack Nigeria. We have Ikimi Kwejwe, MCIPM, Assistant General Manager, Head Corporate Services, Interconnect Clearing House Nigeria Limited, without forgetting our moderator for today, Oludayo Adeniyi, FCIPM, Chief Executive Officer, Agile. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the June edition of the CIPM and You series of CIPM with the theme, The Cost Complacency, How HR Can Prevent Organizational Stagnation, holding today, 24th of June, 2026. At this point, with the permission of Mr. President, I will want to crave your indulgence to be on your feet as we take the Institute's Code of Conduct. You say after me. Recite after me. And when we get to where I say I, you insert your name and your membership grade. And where you are yet to be a member, you can read along with the expectation that very shortly you will join the membership of the Institute. Can I have some people on mute their microphone online so that I can know that you are following through? The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
The Chartered Institute
of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
As the apex regulatory body for human resource management in Nigeria.
As the
apex regulatory body for human resources management practice in Nigeria.
Is committed to the highest possible standard of professional conduct
is committed to the highest possible standard of professional conduct
and competency among its members.
and competency among its members.
Therefore, as a member of the Institute,
Therefore, as a member of the Institute,
I, Benga Samuel Odetunde, MCIPM,
I, Kausar Abdul Karim, FCIPN,
pledge that I shall at all times
pledge that I shall at all times
carry out my duties and responsibilities
carry out my duties and responsibilities
with integrity and diligence,
with integrity and diligence,
demonstrate competence and ethical behavior
demonstrate competence and ethical behavior
in all my business,
in all my business,
professional and personal activities,
professional and personal activities,
respect the laws of the land,
respect the law,
promote, encourage, and embrace acceptable processes
promote, encourage, and embrace acceptable processes
and procedures in the practice of human resource management
and procedures in the practice of human resources
in my sphere of influence.
within my sphere of influence.
Endeavor to make personal decisions
Endeavor to make personal decisions
after considering all options,
after considering all options,
of which resignation may be one,
of which resignation may be one,
in defense of this code of conduct,
in defense of this code of conduct,
where there are conflicts between my professional obligations
where there are conflicts between my professional
and the expectations of my job roles.
and the expectation of my job role.
job rules.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. At this point, it is my honor to invite Mr. President and Chairman of the Governing Council, Malan Ahmed Ladan Gober, FCIPM, FNLI, for his opening remarks. Mr. President, over to you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Registrar. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Loud and clear, Mr. President.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, distinguished professional colleagues. Let me start by recognizing on the call some of our leaders and our distinguished panelists. Madam Vice President, Mrs. Chidinma Justina of PHSC, FCIPM, our National Treasurer, Mr. Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM, Chartered FCIPD, the Registrar and Chief Executive, Ms. Oluwatoyin Naiwo, FCIPM, Chartered FCIPD, our immediate past President, Ms. Olusegun Majid, FCIPM, FNLI, elected council members of the call, other esteemed members of the Governing Council, distinguished fellows of our institute. Our distinguished panelists, Mr. Nduka Fred Anene, FCIPM, Managing Partner at Fatani Resources Limited, Mrs. Kausara Modupeola Abdul Karim, FCIPM, Regional Head, Human Resources, Mantrak, Nigeria, Mr. Ikimi Okwegbe, MCIPM, Assistant General Manager and Head Corporate Services, Interconnect Clearing House, Nigeria Limited. Our distinguished moderator, Ms. Olu Dayo Adeniyi, FCIPM, CEO, Eximios. Distinguished members of our institute joining from Nigeria and from across the world. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all once again.
Good afternoon, sir.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to another insightful edition of the CIPM and You Webinar Series. Every month, this platform reminds us of something we strongly believe at CIPM. And that is, of course, that knowledge becomes more powerful when it is shared. And value even becomes more meaningful when it is accessible. That is why today's session is particularly special. Here we are again, bringing together brilliant minds practical insights, and thought-provoking conversations and future-shaping ideas, and doing it at absolutely no cost at all to everyone on the call. At CIPM, we do not just speak about value, we deliver value. And we deliver it intentionally because we believe that access to knowledge, growth, and professional excellence should never be a privilege for a few, rather, should be an opportunity for all. Today's topic is one that every organization, every leader, and every HR professional must pay special attention to, and that is the cost of complacency, how HR can prevent organizational stagnation. Because it is unlikely that organizations will wake up one morning and discover they have become irrelevant. Stagnation happens quietly over time. Stagnation happens as a result of one delayed decision, one ignored trend, one outdated process, or one missed opportunity at a time. Until one day, the organization or organizations realize that competitors have moved ahead and left them behind. Talent has moved on, and even customers have moved elsewhere, to ply their trade. Today's world rewards movement. It rewards movement in thinking, it rewards movement in innovation, it rewards movement in leadership, and indeed, it rewards movement in people practices. And this is where HR must lead. The role of HR is no longer to simply maintain systems or processes. HR must become the force that keeps organizations curious. It must be the voice that asks the ominous questions and the less ominous ones. What must change? What can improve? What are we not seeing? And what future are we preparing for? The best HR leaders are the ones who do not wait for disruption. The best HR leaders are the ones who prepare organizations before disruption arrives. At CIPM, our commitment remains clear, and that is to continue promoting excellence in people management through value creation, through optimization of human potential, and through standardization and regulation of human resource management, as the law establishing us as mandated us to do. And conversations like the ones we are having today, or we're going to be having today, reflect exactly who we are, at the CIPM. We are not just an institute, we are a community. We do not just certify professionals, we shape conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, today's session is free, but do not mistake free for ordinary. The ideas shared here can change careers. The insights that will be provided by our panelists and discussed here can transform organizations. And the conversations started here today can unlock new possibilities for many. So I ask you all to participate fully, ask questions, engage actively, challenge perspectives that will be shared here, and take something back with you. Because the true cost of this session is not in attendance. It is living without applying what you have learned or what you will be learning today. At this point, permit me once again to sincerely appreciate our distinguished panelists. Nduka Anene, FCIPM, Kausara Abdul Karim, FCIPM, Ikimi Okwegbe, FCIPM, and our moderator, Uludayo Adeni, FCIPM. I thank you once again for making out time from your undoubtedly very busy schedules to be with us today to share your knowledge and your experiences. Your presence reflects your commitment to advancing the profession, the HR profession, and investing in the growth of our community. Thank you for bringing your expertise, your experience, and your perspectives to this important conversation. As an institute, we remain very grateful, and we are indeed grateful to you. To every participant who is joining us today, thank you for continuing to trust CIPM as your partner in growth and professional excellence. As I close, permit me to leave us all with this thought. Comfort may feel safe, but growth lives outside comfort. And the organizations that will remain relevant tomorrow are not necessarily the biggest. They are the ones willing to learn, unlearn, and also lead. I pray that may we never become comfortable with average. May we all never confuse activity for progress. And may HR continue to be the catalyst that keeps organizations moving from where they are to where they ought to be. Thank you. And once again, I welcome you all to the CIPM and You Webinar Series for the month of June. God bless you all. God bless the CIPM, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I say amen to your prayers. So at this point, I'd like to hand over to the moderator for the day, Oludayo Adeniyi, FCIPM, Chief Executive Officer, Eximios, to take over from this point. Oludayo, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here today. Please permit me to stand on existing protocols that were already established. And I want to say a big thank you to CIPM for this opportunity to have this conversation on this important topic today, which is the cost of complacency, how HR can prevent stagnation. And I will be joined with some amazing panelists in this place who will share their experience and their knowledge with us. So without further ado, I'll just introduce them again and we'll get straight into the conversation. Please, you can drop your questions in the question box because we're going to take that before the end of the session. So once again, I welcome everyone here and it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you so much, Mr. President, for that insightful and apt speech. So joining me again in this as a panelist here is, I'll start with the lady, Kasaura Modupe Olabdo Karim, FCIPM. She is the Regional Head HR, Matrak, Nigeria. I also have Unduka Fred Anene, FCIPM, Managing Partner, Fatani Resources Limited. And I also have here with me, Ikemi Okuegbe, MCIPM, who is the Assistant General Manager at Corporate Services Interconnect Clearinghouse, Nigeria Limited. So you're all welcome to this amazing conversation today, which we're going to be talking about the cost of complacency, how HR can prevent stagnation. And I'd like us to start. So you're all welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Oludayo.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're in the audience and you can hear me, please, I'd like you to throw some emojis in the chat box. Let's feel your vibes. Let's feel your energy. Let's know that you are here with us. So I want to see the emojis. I want to do the fires. I want to see, feel your energy in here. Amazing. Thank you so much. I can see that we're all ready for this conversation. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So I'll start on a broad note. I'm going to ask the panelists a general question. And the president has laid, the solid foundation for this discussion. So looking at the pace of change in today's business environment, that means that, the pace of change in today's business environment means that what made an organization successful yesterday may not be enough to sustain success tomorrow. When you hear the theme, the cost of complacency, how HR can prevent organizational stagnation, stands out for you. I'd like us to discuss that. What conversation do you think we should be having in this place today? So I'd like us to talk briefly on that. Kausera, you can start. Let's start with the lady, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Oludayo. Thank you. And I feel so honored for this invitation. And for me today, I think the president has done so well with that introduction. So looking at complacency in organization, I would say we need to look into our comfort zone. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. Let's look into our learning. Are we really in a learning organization or we are a working organization? So who are our people and what are our culture? I think with this discussion today, we'll go deeper into the discussion and know where do we need to change, where do we need to improve, what do we need to stop, and what do we need to start doing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That's profound. What do we need to start? What do we need to stop? And what do we need to continue That is beautiful. Thank you for stating that out. And those are some of the things we are going to be discussing here today. So I move on to Fred. Please, you can also share yours.
Thank you. Once again, I am happy to be here and to share my ideas on the questions we are going to be having today. The topic, what the topic simply does to me was to remind us of the onerous responsibilities on the part of HR to not only help in mitigating the ascendancy of complacency, but also in helping to also stop it within the organization. And I can also deduce from the topic the fact that this rule means that HR must be a business partner. It must be a partner. You must be ready to provide those initiatives that will help the organization come out of complacency, because complacency is not something that builds under a day, it's something that builds over time. So it requires an agile HR to be able to notice when the signs, the symptoms are beginning to manifest, and to put in place mitigating initiatives that will help the organization, to come out of such situation. Because again, when you say complacency, for me, I liken complacency to a stagnant pool. And what you see in a stagnant pool, deadliness, no life, no activity. So that is my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that opening. It's important. Complacency doesn't just happen. It creeps in gradually. And so we're here to talk about this so that we can prevent it and we can even avoid it in the first place. So thank you so much for that. So I'll go to Ikimi.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so very glad to be part of this section. Thank you once again, our president. You have actually laid the foundation for this discussion. Well, to me, complacency doesn't just occur. It usually presents itself in so many ways, except we choose to ignore it. And for me, complacency is a silent threat to organizational performance. Why we also see failures in most organizations, but usually organizational complacency would have presented itself in so many ways that in form of ignored things that need to have settled.
Yes.
And so can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's a bit low though.
This conversation would actually focus on a discussion around HRO being intentional about building a culture that is resilient, a culture that also challenges the status quo, and also looking ahead to ensure that our organization is future ready to be able to withstand an evolving organizational reality. So that's actually the case for me.
Thank you so much. There's something we have all said here today, which is that complacency doesn't just happen. It creeps in gradually. And that is why we're here to discuss this. And I'm going to start what you said now. Ikimi will take us to this next question. So what are some of the subtle warning signs that HR leaders should be paying attention to that suggest an organization is losing its competitive edge? What are those signs, hidden signs, those warnings that that HR needs to pay attention to?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, for me, there are so many, I've said, there are so many subtle symptoms or signs that present itself in various ways in form of declining employee engagement. When you begin to notice some of your staff that were so passionate about the organization that have suddenly become reserved. They are no longer enthusiastic about the organization that they work for. They're no longer excited about the goals of the organization. Then you begin to see increased absenteeism, a staff that usually comes so early now begin to come with all forms of excuses and all of that, then you now begin to notice that yes, there's a disengagement, which also is a resultant effect in employee productivity and the long-term sustainability of the company. Then another issue too we should also be looking at is loss of top talent in an organization. When employees will always look forward to an organization that is dynamic, an organization that is also learning, an organization that can share their ideas and see how long they can also stay with the organization because of what it stands for and because of the culture itself to operate. But when you now begin to see employees leaving, top talents are leaving, then you also begin to understand that yes, they are leaving not necessarily because of the salary. Employee will leave because of culture, because there's a toxic culture, because there is nothing new that is happening in that organization. And also, too, we should also be looking at customer complaints. When customer complaints become so evident, usually people will stay with you, your customers will also stay with you when they begin to see that things are changing within the organization. If the service that they used to get is no longer they are no longer getting it or is no longer of quality, then they begin to look forward to a competition. So another issue we should also looking at is one, a disconnect between leadership and employees, where you have what is stated, our stated values is not what is being practiced within an organization, then there's a disconnect. Then employees begin to lose focus and begin to lose trust in management. What management has promised is not even delivered. So those are symptoms of organization going into complacency. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ikimi. I just want to say something. Please, can you check your audio? Please check your audio. I think it's a bit low. Please check it. Maybe you need to increase the volume. Thank you so much for those. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for those insights. You listed quite a number of things. You talked about loss of top talent. You talked about increased absenteeism, drop in creativity, disconnect between leadership and also the employees. So I just want to encourage HR practitioners and leaders that are on the call, participants here, please identify, list out this point so that when you go back to your organization, you can do the check. That's the whole lesson here so that it can be applied. So thank you so much for those insights that you've shared with us. So now I'll go to Kausara and I'll ask this question. Success often breeds complacency. We all know that that's an irony, though. Why do organizations that have performed well for years sometimes become the most resistant to change?
Wow.
Why does that happen?
Thank you so much, Ludaya, once again. And Mr. Ikimi, thank you so much for giving us the signs to see that complacency is creeping in. So I'd like to start by saying that success, we often say is transient, because what we call success today may not be success tomorrow. And complacency, I call it irrelevance, and I also call it stagnation, can creep in anytime. And it often creeps in quietly, slowly, and unconsciously, because complacency is not an emergency. So we have so many good organizations, successful organizations who has gone into irrelevance even without knowing. So we have organizations that are successful in the past that are now very resistant to change, and we have so many factors that can contribute to that. I have few of them here. The first one I'll be mentioning today is organizations who has anchored in their past successes, maybe past formulas, maybe past tactics, maybe past strategies. They are hold on to the past that they don't want to change. They don't even know that they are not changing. They have been using the formula, they've been using the tactics, they've been using the strategy, and it has been working for them. So when it is not broken, why are you changing it? And we also have other factors like when we overvalue our legacy, when we overvalue our process or overvalue our people. I would like to start from legacy. Legacy means this is who we are and nothing is changing. Why do I have to change it? The owner of the business, the forefathers, the director of this business has been doing it this way. Why do I have to change? Before we know it, we creep into irrelevance. And then we have overvaluing our process. Process, taking one corner and one bend is how we've been doing it, and we've been doing it well. Why do we have to change the process? We don't go into the business process. We don't check what is the numbers of time it's taking us then to do it and what it will take us now to do it. And the one I really want to emphasize on is overvaluing our people. And that is very, very critical. When we overvalue our people, we even fail to do succession planning. And when our people are not well planned or well prepared for, we lose them to competition. I've seen this play out in a lot of times where head of functions, head of departments will say, this is my good hand, this is my talent, I've empowered them, I've done so much in them, is my best hand, I cannot let go, even when the talent apply for internal opportunity and they don't even allow them to go. And oftentimes that I see this present itself, I tell them that if you don't lose this talent, these high performers of yours, to internal opportunities, you will lose them to competition. And that's sinking very well. You will lose it to internal competition, and that is as we lose them to competition, and that is the real risk, because the high performance we are saying, the top performance, the talent we are saying, they see, sense, and feel complacency faster than any other employee in the organization. Yes, because they are brilliant, they are intelligent, so they know when they are stuck. And the last one I'm going to be mentioning here before I drop the stage for other people is misinterpreting, interpreting our strength as our stability as strength. Stability is actually strength. Stability is success. Stability is a milestone. But when we are not looking at our stability as risk, we forget ourselves in our comfort zone. When we look at our stability or success or milestone or achievement as risk, what happens? We look at them and anticipate what are the issues that will come from it. What are the mitigants? How do we solve this problem? What if this stability is not there? What if this milestone did not come? How do we ensure we are always preparing our mitigants to address all this risk? If we see it as risk, then we plan better. I would like to start from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those beautiful and insightful points. You said something that I had to write down, two major statements. You said complacency is not an emergency. So it's not something that it's not an emergency. And you also said something here that is profound. You said if you don't lose your top talents to your internal customers, you will lose them to your competitors. These are profound.
Absolutely.
These are statements here. And to summarize what you just said, we can't continue doing the same thing and expect to get the same result. We have to evolve and we have to keep growing as an organization. Thank you so much for those profound insights. So thank you. So I'll go to Fred now. I'd like us to look at the human side of this now. How does complacency manifest in employees and leaders? What changes in their mindset or behavior typically emerge? Because we need to be able to understand what are the behaviors, what are the mindset that emerge when an organization is going in this phase.
Okay, once again, thank you, our moderator. Let me take a cue from the last speaker, Kawzera. Complacency is not an emergency. It is something that starts for a long time, creeping on without anybody noticing what is happening. But the truth is that people are noticing what is happening. They are just not comfortable enough to say these are the things that are happening. Let me give an example. It's like somebody trying to disguise and maybe an idea through body language. You know, body language, you can always interpret the body language and know the real intent of the individual. So every organization has a body, and it's the body of the individual that makes up the body of the organization. You know, so when you begin to see complacency, you will notice it in the employees and then in the leaders. In the employees, what are the signs? The signs are very obvious. Like I said, they are there, but they are not. Nobody talks about them because the organization is comfortable with the status quo. They are comfortable with what it is existing, and nobody thinks about the future. Nobody thinks about growth. and changing the dynamics. So that is what you find in such an organization. For the employees, what you notice mainly is there is this withdrawal of initiatives. Individuals who were prior to this complacent environment, we are freely giving out the ideas and profiling initiatives on how things have to be done. All of a sudden, they withdraw. There is nobody profiling new initiatives because it will not be accepted. Nobody cares about those initiatives. So they withdraw into their cocoon because that is what the environment, the complacent environment, accepts. Then you also discover that these individuals, I mean the employees, that they resist change. They resist change. They are comfortable with the familiar pathways, what they are used to, what they've been doing over the period. So they are not interested in any change because the organization is also not interested in change. Remember what I said, that the body of the individual is the body of the organization, is the collective body of the individual that makes the collective body of the organization. So they resist change because the organization in itself is also not interested in any change. Now you have this declining commitment to learning and development. People are not interested in further learning and development because they'll ask themselves, what am I doing this for? Even if I acquire a new certification, I acquire a new skill, am I going to deploy into this organization? Is anybody going to reward me for these new skills? And you discover that nobody rewards you for those new skills. So it's a waste of time to the employees. Now you look at their efforts. What kind of efforts do they put into their work on a daily basis? Minimal effort, just to show presence, do what is expected of them, and then nobody's interested in going further, doing the extra mile, going the extra mile. So that is what you find, and you discover that there's a two lethargy within the organization, within the workforce. They are not happy. One of the previous speakers has talked about that excitement is there. The environment is toxic. The environment is not helping anybody to think. So that is what we find amongst the employees. And what are the mindset changes that you find? Oh, we have always done this way. This is how we've always been doing it. And there is no interest in going the extra mile. Those are the mindsets you see in employees within that complacent organization. And for the leaders is also, the leaders, what they normally do is they glorify, glamorize the past successes, as if the past successes will take them to future growth. They are not looking ahead, they're not looking to the future. They are contented, they are happy with the current growth where they are today. So there is this emphasis, at every point in time, the past comes to them. You are reminded of the past, what we did in the past, but the future is beckoning, and nobody is thinking about the future. Yes. So that is one of the things you notice in leaders. Again, you notice they ignore warning signs. There are warning signs. The market is changing, processes are changing. They ignore all this, and what happens is that the organization becomes steeped into complacency. Yes. And nobody's thinking about the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those insightful points that you have raised. And so we're looking, if an organization has a fixed mindset, an organization does not have growth mindset, then that organization is on its way to complacency, to stagnation. So we need to watch out for that. So I want to ask us on this call, are we an organization that has a growth mindset, or we are fixed in our ways? That is a question that we all need to answer. And remember, the organization are the people. So as you're asking for your organization, you're asking me for the people too. So thank you so much for that a powerful insight that you've shared with us. Now, I'll go to Ikimi now. Let's now look at the strategic role of HR. We've said it that HR is not meant to manage people anymore, or manage systems. So should HR simply respond to organizational stagnation, or should HR be responsible for preventing it? Where should HR's role begin and end?
Okay, thank you very much. the cost of complacency is usually very high compared to the cost of change. So HRO, as professionals, we are best positioned, or we are uniquely positioned to identify risks, provide solutions, and also advise management on the various strategies that need to be put in place to mitigate organization going into complacencies. And for me, HRO, why they need to prevent uh, all of this, but there need to be a collaboration because organization complacencies is so much a challenge for HRO to take alone. So there should be a collaboration between the executive, the CEO, the executive management, and every staff have a role to play in taking up the responsibility of preventing organization going into complacency. And this is very important for me that HRO has the role because they are in charge of culture, they're in charge of performance management. They also relate more with the staff, knowing and also able to read employee disengagement. And once that begins to happen, so they also know what to do in terms of preventing organization going into stagnation. Sometimes too, HRO alone can't be saddled with this responsibility. But there are situations where HRO also discovers some risk, a potential risk that could be very detrimental to the success of the organization and also present to management what needs to be done. But management also may decide to ignore such. So I'm of the view that there should be a collaboration for us to ensure a sustainable growth within the organization. HRO and management and all the business owner must work in collaboration to prevent uh, stagnation. And also too, HRO, because of their role, must be forward thinking. They should also begin to see themselves as not just administrative function, but they should also be strategic in their approach in terms of anticipating the future of the organization and understanding if the staff has the capability to face future challenges. And two, HRO also will begin to understand the workforce requirement in terms of skills so that they can continue to build a learning and evolving and adapting organization. So HRO has every role to prevent organization going into stagnation. But the bottom line is there should be a collaboration between the executive and every stakeholders of the organization to ensure that, yes, we all work in tandem to ensure we have organization that is fit for purpose
Yes.
and able to withstand the test of time.
Yes. Thank you so much for that powerful insight. I like how you put it. There should be collaboration. Though HR
Yes,
is
that's true.
responsible for some functions, there needs to be collaboration between executive management and HR. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that insightful share with us. So this will now lead us to the next question, which is now, let's now look at the culture. I'll direct this to Kasara. So how can HR intentionally build a culture where curiosity, learning, and constructive challenge become the norm instead of comfort and routine?
Thank you, Oludayo. HR we are the superhero. We are the superhuman. We solve all problem, even when we don't even have solution for some. Thank you for that. Let me answer this by saying that there's this two saying that says when we stop learning, we stop earning. And there's another one that says when we stop learning, we stop living, actually. An organization who doesn't want to learn, we what's it called? Irrelevance is going into extinction is imminent, is looming for them. When we talk about curiosity, what is curiosity? When, let me give this instance or scenario, when you are the only person in the room as leader, you are the only one talking 24/7 and nobody has an opinion, then what you get is a silent workforce. And when there's silence workforce, curiosity dies. Yes. So when we have those scenarios, we are not learning, we are not curious, then we are dying at the end of the day. Many ways HR can build a culture of learning and curiosity or even constructive challenge. A few of them would be to embed learning into our performance metrics. Thus, we have many organizations that are supporting the employees in a way of helping them develop professionally and then personally. We need to start putting learning as part of our KPI. Very, very important, so that there's a continuous learning. Not just the one we are sponsoring our staff, we also encourage them to do their own personal thing. CIPM is there for the finance. We have all other professions that they can build. Some of them want to go for MSc, some of them want to go for MBA. Putting all this together makes employees curious, and then they can come back to the organization and provide solution to issues or pending tasks. Another thing on this is when we normalize questions and feedback. Normalizing question and feedback. Sometimes we leaders don't even allow our staff ask questions, and we dread feedbacks. We dread feedbacks, yes. And when we are able to train our leaders or our managers or supervisor to take dissenting views, phrases like, is there anything I'm missing here? Is there anything that we can add? We help employees take that ownership that, yes, this issue, we are solving it together. This issue is our issue and not just the manager's issue. We have a lot of managers that are afraid to even take town hall meeting. They are afraid to go to that meeting with the employees. Even departmental meeting is an issue for them because we don't want to hear that feedback and we don't want people to ask questions. Let's start normalizing questions in our organization, and that will build the culture of curiosity, learning, and also constructive challenge. And we also have to build a cross-functional exposure, and that is also very important. Do we have our employees stay in one place for 25 years, stay in one place for 20 years? This is HR. Know the numbers of functions and the value chain of HR alone. I can be in HR for 20 years, but I'm not doing the same thing for 20 years. When I interview people and they tell me that I've been in HR for 25 years, I should be saying, wow, this is a big experience. Well, ask them. Some of them has been paying salary for 25 years. So what other value can they add? Is that a learning organization? Do we have organization where information is just like a secret court? Why do we have to replicate data when that data has been done somewhere else? Why can't we make things efficient by asking for an existing data to build on what we want to do and let it come out on time? You hear people said, I've used 2 weeks to do this, so you have to go and start your own all over. So by first embedding performance into embedding learning into our performance metrics, second, normalizing questions and feedback, and then let's build a cross-functional teams and cross-functional exposure. Remember, if you have any organization where curiosity is not rewarded or encouraged, conformity will take charge and it will dominate the entire system. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for that, for those powerful insights. Beautiful. You have touched on some very powerful things. I was talking to someone earlier this week, and the person was telling me about a company who is about 2 decades, and the company is going there. And these were the things that the person said. The leaders stopped listening. They stopped listening.
That's it.
Employees kept quiet. And I saw some people in the chat box also saying the same thing. That is happening in our organizations now. So please, we all need to begin to be guided. And you talked about training also, and that's why we have CIPM. Organizing events like this every month. All you need to do is to make yourself available. Make yourself available also to learn. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for not learning. So we need to keep learning so we don't die. We keep living. Thank you so much for those powerful insights. So now this will take us into leadership because we've touched on leadership now. So I'll take this to Fred. What role do executive leaders play in either encouraging or unintentionally reinforcing complacency?
Thank you, Ludayo, for that question. Leadership is very critical. It's often said that leadership is influence, And we all know that leadership influences management decisions, influences strategies, influences communication, influences incentives. There's a lot that leadership does. So there are also certain things that leadership does to encourage complacency, and one of them is overemphasizing on past successes. We've talked about this. The previous speakers have also talked about this, where the emphasis is on what we have done in the past, the successes were recorded in the past. When the issue is we are glamorizing the past, we are romanticizing the past, then we don't have time to look into the future and see what is beckoning on us. And that's a big challenge. And that's what leaders normally do in such an environment. There is this overemphasis, what we've done in the past. They are looking backwards, they're not looking forward, they are backward looking, they're not forward looking. So that is an issue. That is what such leaders exhibit. The other one is discouraging dissenting views, critical feedbacks. The speakers have also talked about that, where we discover that opportunities are not provided for feedback from the rank and file workforce. It is as if some section of the workforce are asked to keep their head at home when you are coming to work. Just cut off your neck and keep at home. And then whatever we tell you is what we do in the company, whether it works or not. So that is also an attitude, portrayed by those leaders. They suffocate, they discourage dissenting views and critical views, opinions. And then the other one is that these leaders are usually detached. They are detached from the frontline realities and the market changes. They are detached from those realities. They find it difficult to take feedback from those in the field who understand what is happening in the market, because they know it all. They know what to do at every point in time. So that's always an issue. They don't care about customer needs because they don't know what they are. They are their offices, their big chairs, enjoying their big offices. So they don't care what is happening in the marketplace. So it's important for us to know that this is also one of the things they do to encourage complacency. Remember what I said before, complacency is like a stagnant pool of water. Then the other one is that these leaders, they tolerate mediocre performances. We have instances where we have people in our organizations that are not doing well because they are connected to the MD or to a senior person or a board member. We're allowed them to stay, and they infest the entire organization with their poor performance, because it's like as if the organization accepted that. Then how do they prevent that? Yes, that can prevent complacency by encouraging a continuous improvement. What are we doing? The way we are doing things, how can we change what we are doing? Is our payroll working? Is our recruitment services working? Is our performance management working? Where can we tweak and make changes and get better results? So another one, the last one is holding themselves accountable, holding themselves and others are accountable for result and performance. And this is another way where they can help to remove complacency within the organization.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing those insights, powerful insights with us. They're profound and apt. And I took something from what you said. Leaders shouldn't lose sight of the vision. Leaders should never lose sight of the vision. That should be the driving force. If the vision is the driving force, then it helps to ensure that we are constantly aligned with our vision. So thank you so much. We're going to go into the last set of questions. I want to see in the chat box, if you are getting value from this discussion, let me see that you are with us. You are still with us. Let me know that you are still with us. Let's know what are you learning. You can drop that in the chat box. Let's know what you're learning and if you're getting value from here. Thank you so much. I can see Vivian. Thank you. So now I'll go to the next set of questions and I'll start with Kausara here. So let's look at employees often see problems long before leaders does, and we're still taking a clue from the last conversation. How can HR create an environment where people feel safe enough to question the status quo? Because I saw a lot of questions here. with regards to that also in this chat box. How can we build that environment as HR professionals?
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's when you talk about psychological safety, that is my baby, and I'm very passionate about it. I want to live in a safe environment, and I want everybody living there to also be safe as well. Yeah, maybe we should all put this to test in our various organization. The fact that when employee only speak up, either at meeting, either at anything or any project or anything, they only speak up when the risk in the room is low and when the respect and recognition in that room is high. That's the only time employees speak up. You can't force it. You can't force it, it's natural. And we call psychological safety, I love to call it emotional safety. It's just simply the employee's ability to be able to share their concern, to be able to share their opinion without fear of retribution or humiliation. Simple as that. But it is not easy. Now, breaking down, we say how do they be able to question the status quo? I'm trying to see your question again. What do we mean by status quo? Maybe because we use the word challenge the status quo. Status quo is just the current of affair. It's just the current situation. It's just the where we are currently. And challenging is just investigating the current situation in a company. So why is it difficult for us leaders? Maybe we've not even trained our employee how to ask or challenge constructively. Maybe they've learned how to challenge destructively. Maybe that's why we have the problem. So HR as the custodian of talent, we are the custodian of talent. We are the custodian of culture. There's a lot of things that we have to be doing and we can do to make our environment safe for people to work and also to investigate the state of affairs, not calling it a status quo at this time. The first thing is to strengthen our leadership behavior. That is very important because it starts at the top. It starts at the top. Active listening, role modeling, not just walking the talk. Are we living the talk? That is very, very important. Very, very important. Who are our leaders? What are they doing? How are they showing up? How are they showing their own emotions? How are they managing their emotions? And another thing is to make psychological safety leadership evaluation. Are we making all our leaders responsible? Do we have it in their KPI? That how safe is your environment? Yes, I recently carry out, I do this almost every year just to check myself, to check my house to see are there harassment, are people safe, can people come up and then be confident to share their thoughts? And you'll be so surprised that there is no organization where no matter the initiatives, no matter you will still have them. But what is the number? And that is what I'm concerned about. Is it reducing or is it increasing? So we need to ensure psychological safety is part of leadership evaluation because I created a sense of urgency in MCM that we are all responsible. And again, we need to build a channel, a very safe channel that employee can trust. It's not even the channel now. Is that can trust because we have for what's it called suggestion box has been traditional, anonymous idea platform. We have it. Skip level conversation have always been there. How do we ensure the employee trusts that channel that we adopt for them to be able to give us as it is? We are doing survey. They only tell us what we want to hear. So how do we create this? We have to build a channel that they trust. And how can we build a channel that they trust? Is by acting on feedback immediately, quickly. When we act on feedback, they will start to trust the system. A lot of time we have done survey that we did not, even employee did not even see the result of the survey, especially when it's not even favoring the management. They don't take, and you send another one and they say they are not feeling it. The numbers of people that will feel it will actually reduce because you don't even give them the result of what they have done and you don't act on feedback. When we start creating the system of you said and I did, in our organization, you said and we did, it brings about trust. People know, yes, if I say this, they will do it. And if you cannot do it now, you also still give the feedback that we don't have the resources to do it now. Give us some time, this will be implemented. Because if you have to start forming the habit of treating feedback quickly, because psychological safety is not a policy, it's not an initiative, it's not an agenda. It's actually a leadership habit, and we need to start forming this habit. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those insightful submissions. We are so grateful for that. That's powerful. As leaders, let's not just talk. Let's put these things into let's implement. Let people truly know that they can be trusted. Let's put the things, their suggestions to work. That's what I hear from what you're saying here today. Thank you so much. This is how we can build this environment where organizations keep living and can build sustainable success. So thank you so much for that. So I'll go to the next question, which I'll direct to Fred, which is talking about, let's look at organizational agility right now. If you are the CHRO, which is the Chief Human Resources Officer, what metrics would convince you that your organization is continuously evolving rather than slowly stagnating? Are you there? You're please unmute, please. Kindly unmute.
Please come again. I didn't hear you very well.
Okay, I said if you were the Chief Human Resources Officer, what metrics would convince you that your organization is continuously evolving rather than slowly stagnating?
Okay, I think the end thing today is that organizations must remain agile and nimble in both their processes, both their people, both their strategies. And if I am the Chief Human Resources Officer of an organization, what I will do is there are things I'll be looking at to ensure that agility within my organization. And one of them is the speed of decision making. Speed of decision making. How fast do we make decisions? It doesn't mean that all the decisions made in a fast way will be good decisions, but how fast do we make decisions? It tells a lot about the organization. So I will also look at this metric as an important metric to determine whether we're agile or we're not, whether we're ready for the future or we're just a company of today. And the second point I will look at is the time to implement strategic initiatives. Have we decided on anything within the year, at the beginning of the year, when we hold our retreats, and we agree these are the strategic directions of the organization? And then how long does it take us to implement those initiatives? Or do they stay on the shelves without implementation? So it's very critical. But I will also have this as a metric. The other one is the rate of adopting change. The rate of adopting change within the organization. Is it fast? Is it slow? Are people open to adopting changes, or are they very reluctant to anything called change? And again, that tells you a lot about the management, the leaders, and the staff. Again, I'll look at another metric. That metric is the number of staff that are ready to succeed their superiors. What is the rate? How do we measure that? Because if you have people that are ready to succeed their leaders, ready successors, it tells a lot also about the organization that we're ready for tomorrow. We remember the issue of Jack Welch, who will always employ new staff within 48 hours of an exit. We have some strategy to say that, look, that will have people on board. We've trained them, they are ready. So if we have that, that will help a lot. And then again is okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for those points. Those are valid points. Speed of decision making. These are very, very important points that you have raised. At what rate are we adopting change? Those are also metrics we can look at. And then how do we measure? How do we know that people really want to succeed others in the organization? That's looking at succession planning. Your organization must be attractive enough for people to want to be there. So those are very valuable. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And then I'll go to this question before we go into the question. Please, if you have questions, drop them. I can't seem to see questions in the box. Please drop your questions so that we can take.
They've started dropping them. They are there.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I would ask this question before we go in there. this is the final question here now. Can you share an example of an organization that successfully escaped complacency or failed because it didn't? What lessons should HR professionals take away from this experience? Thank you. So this question goes to Ikimi.
Okay, thank you very much. In answering this question, I will also be looking at some few examples globally and also local examples. My first example will be Kodak and digital photograph. If you remember, at a point or for decades, Kodak dominated the photographs industry, and also Kodak was a household name. For every photography, Kodak was the lead in that market. So at a point, Kodak failed to also understand the need to change, and also then came up Canon invented digital cameras. So in 1975, Kodak actually invented digital cameras, but they were also afraid to go into operation with that digital camera. And so the fear was that they will cannibalize the profitability that should come from the fame that comes along with Kodak. So Canon came on board with digital camera, and also Lenon also came on board with digital camera, and that was how Kodak went into extinction and lost the market leadership. Another example is Facebook and Google. At the point, Facebook was the most visited site for search engines for every information that you want to know about. But Facebook went into diversification, and for that their strategic diversification, it also then made them to lose focus of the initial direction for the company. And Google came on board, and Google took over the market share. Now, coming to local examples, companies like Nitel. We all know how Nitel was before the GSM came on board. Nitel was the company dominating the telecom industry. And you could also imagine that for you to get a line from Nitel then, it would take 1 year or thereabout for you to get a line. Nitel was bedeviled with bureaucracy, inefficiencies, and poor customer service. So when GSM came on board in 2001, the life of MTN, the life of Econet then, and the life of Globalcom, they brought in innovations, and they also that you could even achieve or buy life and have accessibility to your life. So that also gives room for the GSM company to override what Nitel was doing. So Nitel eventually went into a station, and today Nitel is history. So we also look at a platform like the newsprint media, daily news. At a point, they dominated the newspaper, but they have never anticipated that a destruction will come, and companies like Digit or Nairametrics also brought innovations and digital transformation to that platform, and a lot of people then abandoned newspaper, and the digital platform was able to capture the life of the young South.
Thank you.
So another example is we can also relate to.
We need to stop at this point. You're giving us so much examples. You're giving us so much examples already, so that we can go into the Q, and then we're already behind time. So thank you so much for the insights that you've shared with us. And I can see a lot of people here saying they are getting value. And I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions here from this. Somebody says, how can HR distinguish between employee contentment and employee complacency before it begins to affect performance? Please,
so
that's one question.
Where you say contentment, employee contentment and complacency. So for me, when you say contentment, it depends on the context. Are you saying contentment in terms of I'm fine where I am, I'm okay, I've done my certifications. I've had the experience I want to have. My competence is enough, and I'm doing okay. And while I'm saying that, I'm still learning to upgrade, to upskill, to reskill myself. That is different. But when you said now complacency, the person is saying, I'm fine, I'm okay, even when things are changing in front of him or her.
Mm.
I'm okay. I'm not learning anything. I don't need to learn anything. When things come, you don't even want to see any training. When they send you for training, so which training is this? I don't have time. So that contentment is, I'm good for now. I'm okay. Let me now put value. Everything that I've put in, all the competency, let me deliver it through value. And then complacency is you have all those things and you think you are enough, and you've already anchored your learning there. You don't want to move from there. Maybe I don't know if I've been able to answer that,
Yes,
but there are
thank you.
two different things actually.
Yes.
I don't know if I could add to this.
Yes, please.
Yes, I think when contentment is actually a great virtue to be contented in life, but that shouldn't be an end. I think it should be a means to some of the higher values. There are so many of them. If you are contented with your life, with whatever you are doing, that is okay. It's spiritual in a sense. It's okay. But when it becomes an end, it stops there. You do nothing else to improve yourself, to become more so that you can do more and have more. It becomes an issue. Complacency is like you're okay with what you're doing, and you're not striving again. You are not waking up to anything again. You are complacent, you're comfortable with the status quo.
Absolutely.
You don't want to make any efforts again.
Yes.
So you have to distinguish between them. One is a great virtue, the other one is a no end for me.
Wow.
Thank you.
One is a virtue, great virtue. Thank you so much for that. And this final question, then we wrap it up. I was accused of not minding my business when I identified complacency in one of the subsidiaries and how to resolve it. My question is, when you work in an organization where the leaders are comfortable with complacency and are resistant to change, so what do you do? Please, let's take this quickly because we are really behind time now.
The answer is either you stay and conform into the group think, or you leave.
Thank you.
Simple answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for helping us today and sharing your insights and experience with us. We are so grateful. At this point, I'll have to hand over back to CIPM. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of experience with us. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So move on to give a few announcements, and I will hand over to Esther Adenyoju. Please stay tuned.
All right, thank you very much, the Deputy Registrar. Before we round up today's session, we'll kindly share with us some important opportunities, programs, and updates from CIPM. The first on our list is the CEO CHRO HRD Forum 2026, and it's strictly for CEOs, business leaders, directors general, head of service, permanent secretaries, and HR directors across the public and the private sector, and it is strictly by registration. The team is refocusing diversity and inclusion in the organization, the CEO and HR perspective. And so this is an event where you can register your CEO and your HR directors. They need to be in this forum. And we have two distinguished guest speakers. We have Mr. Ruga, the Managing Director of Freshland Campina Wako Nigeria PLC. And we have the Director General of the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, Dr. Funke Adekoju, who is coming from the public sector. You don't want to miss this. Then the second on our list is the Special Human Resource Forum 2026. And the date is Thursday, 23rd July 2026. The theme is People Policy and Performance in the Age of AI, HR Leadership for Economic Transformation and Poverty Reduction. The time is 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it is completely virtual. It is 3 points for membership upgrade and 5 points for HR period renewal. And this edition will feature a globally renowned speaker. I can assure you is going to be a global speaker, and our panelists will bring local perspective to enrich the conversation. It is 30,000 naira for financial members and 40,000 naira for non-members and including non-financial members. For registration support for this event, please email shrf@cipmnigeria.org or you WhatsApp 080 118. Then number 3 on our list, we have call for papers. So this is where we invite HR leaders, business, CEOs, researchers, academic professors to bring their papers, their well-researched paper for publication in the HR journal, and it is completely free. The topic is digital HR, smarter work and better decisions. You can also visit our website at www.cipmnigeria.org to get more information. And in case you also need more information on the activities happening in CIPM, it's on our website on the homepage. We have the scroll button, constantly scrolling all the events taking place in the Institute. We also have call for articles at the People First magazine, and the topic is Employee Wellbeing, Leadership Quality, and Sustainable Work System. And the deadline for the submission is 31st of July, 2026. You can email hrmj@cipmnigeria.org. So we have call for papers for HRM Journal and call for articles for People First magazine. You can submit or go to the website to get more information on this. Then we have the 2026 annual essay competition for Nigerian undergraduates. The topic is a Nigeria tertiary institution truly preparing students for the world of work. So you can speak to students of tertiary institutions around you, and it is completely free. And I think the prize, they're going on with cash prizes and also free attendance to the largest HR events in Africa, which is the 58th International Conference and Exhibition. And right about now, I'm speaking of the 58th International Conference and Exhibition. It is 39 days to the largest HR events in Africa. 89 days, yes. This is an event you should be. The date is 21st to 24th September 2026. Please let's spread the information around. It's not in October, it is September 21 to 24, 2026. And the venue is Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center in Abuja. We are painting Abuja green. Yeah. Please expect networking opportunities, insightful panel sessions, exhibitions, fun activities, and valuable takeaways. In case you have inquiries on about the conference, you can email conference@cipmnigeria.org. And we're also calling for sponsorship from organizations and individuals. You can email us at sponsorship@cipmnigeria.org if you have sponsorship inquiries. And you can also comment on our latest post on our social media in case you have other inquiries on the conference. We'll be ready and delighted to answer your inquiries. Then we have the pre-conference training, which will take place before the 58th International Conference and Exhibition, and that is starting on Sunday, 20th September to Monday, 21st September 2026. The pre-conference training will hold before the main conference starts. And the pre-conference training will also feature renowned facilitators who will lecture you on the theme and several topics before the main conference starts. The CIPM is now live on the CIPM mobile app. You can download on your App Store and your Google Play Store. Please, let's spread the message around to our branches, our chapters, to everyone that the CIPM mobile app is now live. Please download it and you can interact with CIPM from your mobile phones. Then we also have the CIPM communication groups on WhatsApp. This is so that you can receive information about CIPM on your phone without visiting the website. We keep members constantly updated on various activities in CIPM. Then we also encourage that all our members should please wear the CIPM lapel pin Please proudly represent CIPM wherever you go. If you have your business function, personal meetings, anywhere you go, just wear your CIPM lapel pin. And if you've lost one, you can get one at the CIPM headquarters or our zonal offices or during the 58th International Conference and Exhibition. It is just 5,000 naira. Yeah. Then subscription reminder, if you're not getting alert on your subscription, you can visit your member portal or you email our subscription team at subscription@cipmnigeria.org. And I'm also delighted to announce that we have a subscription on our WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp them on 0809094625615. The subscription team available to respond to your inquiries between Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll drop it on the CIPM communication group so that you can also follow up. And the HR renewal, if your HR PL has expired, please kindly renew today. Email hrpl@cipmnigeria.org, and they will also drop the inquiries again on the CIPM communication group so that you can have the various contact information for different departments and for other inquiries you may have. Then we have the CIPM Members Cooperative Multipurpose Society. As a member, one of the benefits you get is to be able to join the CIPM Members Cooperative Multipurpose Society. The inquiries, you can email CIPM Members Cooperative Society at gmail.com. And then I can assure you that there are lots of benefits you gain from being a member of the CIPM Cooperative Society. Then the 2026 training calendar is available. We've also posted this on the CIPM Communications Group and also sent it by email to member. In case you don't have, please email us at learning@cipmnigeria.org or you visit the website to download the full training calendar. Every information we're reading now is on our website and is readily available on the homepage. Then you can also place your advert on the CIPM website. Please email us at marketing@cipmnigeria.org. We'll be happy to provide more information on that. If you're due for membership upgrade, this is the time for you to be upgraded. Don't stay on the same lane for so many years. Yeah, we're calling you to please come and upgrade. And then we're calling you to come and be upgraded. You can email us at upgrade@applications@cipmnigeria.org. For your upgrade, the information is also readily available on the website. You go on www.cipmnigeria.org and click on membership upgrade. You'll see the criteria and everything. Everything is purely done online. But if you have inquiries, you can email us at upgradeapplications@cipmnigeria.org. Then if you have contact for inquiries, general inquiries, you can email us. We have our call center, and then we also have customer care WhatsApp on at the institute where you can also drop your WhatsApp message and the customer care agent will respond to you. We also appeal that you please exercise patience due to the volume of inquiries we receive daily at CIPM. You can also email contactcenter@cipmnigeria.org. And please, if you're not receiving communications from CIPM, kindly send an update to subscription@cipmnigeria.org, and then we will get more information on this. The free learning continued today at the CIPM radio show on Lagos Talk 91.3 FM. And we will be featuring the president of our RAV band group, and as we discuss the role of data in payroll and HR decision making. At CIPM, we're constantly delivering value at absolutely no cost, as the president has mentioned. And then we also have one of the benefits of being a member is the welfare scheme, where members enjoy access to welfare scheme, group life insurance, where beneficiary will receive benefits in the event of we're not praying for the death of any member. Of the packages that we also give to members, in the event of that. CIPM Marketplace, financial members can also enjoy discounted shopping opportunities through the CIPM Marketplace. You go to www.cipmnigeria.org and then you see the CIPM Marketplace. You click on it and you can shop as many things as you want, from office accessories and so on, at discounted rates. Yeah, it's also part of the benefits. Please note that it's only open to financial members. So if you're non-financially active and you go there, you will not be able to access the discounted rates. The CIPM is open for you to host your next event at the Institute. If you were there at the annual general meeting, we had our 57th annual general meeting at the CIPM HQ, and it was fantastic, the all and everything. So you can host your event at the Institute, your training sessions, your meetings, parties, small gathering at the Institute. Just call us on 08035850635. Thank you so much. We'll provide more update to you on the CIPM Communications WhatsApp group. We'll drop the link on the chat box. Please join so that we can keep you abreast of whatever is happening in the Institute. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Esther. At this point, I'd like to invite our brand new National Treasurer, Mr. Deyemi Akinfemi Ajayi, FCIPM, Chartered FCIPD, to take the vote of thanks. National Treasurer, over to you.
Thank you very much, the Deputy Registrar. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much, our distinguished panelists. On behalf of the President and Chairman of Governing Council, we want to appreciate our distinguished panelists. Let me start with Kausara Abdul Karim, FCIPM. Thank you very much for the wonderful insights that you have provided this wonderful afternoon. Mr. Ikimi Okwegbe, MCIPM. Thank you very much for those wonderful nuggets. Mr. Unduka Fred Anene, FCIPM. Thank you so very much for the insight that you have provided today. And to our moderator, Ms. Oludayo Adeni, FCIPM. Thank you so very, very much for moderating this session perfectly. We thank everyone that has joined us online on this particular wonderful afternoon. Let me leave us quickly with a few learnings that's an insight that we share today. One is that we should embed learning into our KPI and into our performance management system. We were told to encourage our personnel development, to promote and to improve curiosity within our organization. And we were advised to normalize learning and feedbacks, because this will ensure that constantly our employees can speak with us, they can remain innovative, and they don't get complacent. We were encouraged to build cross-functional exposure. That is, let us move people around. Even if we are within a particular function, you should be able to go through the value chain across that particular function. And we were told that we don't need to overemphasize our successes, because that could also encourage complacency. We were advised to create a psychologically safe environment for our employees and embed that into our system. And we were informed that it's important for us to build a trusted channel for employees to provide feedback. And when they do give us those feedback, we should ensure that we execute and we put into practice and we action those things that they have told us. These are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful insights that we have gleaned from today's episode of CIPM You series. At CIPM, we are always delivering value through people. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. At some point, we had over 788 participants on this particular platform. These are the wonderful things that you get to enjoy as members of this great institute. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. this evening for our radio program. Thank you very much, everyone, and do have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, and thank you, National Treasurer. So I'd like to invite the Vice President, Mrs. Chidima Justina Obiejesi, FCIPM, to take the closing remarks. VP, over to you.
Please, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Right. Thank you very, very much. The President of the Governing Council, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed leaders of our great institute, CIPM, and I must say, our very brilliant guest speakers. We have come to the end of this truly eye-opening session. Over the last 90 minutes, we have dismantled a silent killer in today's corporate landscape. That's complacency. We have explored how doing things the way we have always been done isn't just a safe routine. It is a fast track to organizational stagnation. If there is one vital truth we must take away from today's CIPM and You webinar, it is this: HR is no longer just the custodian of policies. We are the guardians of momentum. When an organization stalls, it is rarely due to a sudden market crash. No, it is never sudden. It is usually because of a slow creeping comfort zone that went unchecked. As HR professionals, I encourage us to note this: we cannot afford to be complacent ourselves. We must be the ones to agitate excellence. We must challenge status quo and continuously fuel a culture of curiosity and adaptability. To anchor our thoughts today, let's remember the words of Peter Drucker. It says, and I quote, "The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not turbulence itself. It is to add with yesterday's logic." If we use yesterday's logic to manage talents, tomorrow's talent, stagnation is guaranteed. Furthermore, as the author and leadership expert, John Maxwell rightly noted, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. But I know that CIPM, growth is not optional for us. Our role as HR leaders is to make growth the only viable option for our people and our organizations. Let us leave this virtual room today committed to identifying the pockets of complacency in our respective organizations. Let us use the framework, insights, and tools shared today to sharp transformation. On behalf of CIPM leadership, I want to extend our greatest and deepest gratitude to our phenomenal panelists and speakers and moderators for sharing their wealth of expertise and experiences. A huge thank you to our organizing team, and that is the HQ team, for putting this together. And most importantly, to all of us, over 800 of us on this call, our vibrant HR community, for your active participation and thought-provoking questions. Thank you for joining us for this edition. Stay innovative, stay disruptive, and let us continue to champion people's management at its finest. Have a wonderful and productive day ahead. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Like they said, join us at our radio program at 5 p.m. Thank you. Over to you, Gio.
Thank you very much, Madam VP. At this point, let's close this session together by taking our national anthem. Let's be upstanding. Thank you.
Oh, God of all creation, and this our response, help us to do the nation, we keep our
Nigeria shall be blessed.
Yeah, thank you.
Nigeria shall be blessed indeed. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, my
Bye.
moderator. And thank you, my
Thank you.
panelists.
My professor Hadeyemi Ajayi.